Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to yet another video intended to answer the commentary below one of my web scraping tutorials. So Unlimited Sky 00, if you're watching this video is dedicated especially for your requests. So here you're asking of how to get the rental data for Atlanta GA, and you're saying here that you try to edit the code but wasn't successful to get the rental data. And you're like, first I thought that just simply altering the request URL would do the stuff basically. Well, I was wrong. That's the reason for actually creating this video, which also involves rewriting of the data extraction logic. So for you Unlimited Sky, and for those of you guys who are interested in scraping rental data from zillow.com, so if you're interested, let's go for altering the code of the Zillow scraper that I've created in the Zillow tutorial. So here, let me just quickly grab the code for the entire Zillow scraper, and here we need to alter a bunch of things. So the very first thing to consider is actually these parameters and the response and the request URL link itself. So I've already found this listings for the rental data regarding Atlanta GA area. So if you just have a look at the URL, it's literally the same structure as the one that was used in the previous tutorial. So we need to grab this first part with this question mark and just put it right in here and paste. And now what we actually need here is actually, let's basically get rid of all the stuff here. Okay, save. And now let's grab the search query state until the very end. So just copy and paste. Here we need to provide the stringified page. Okay. And also don't forget to add the single quotes to change the equal sign to the colon. Okay, and here specify the string formatting. Okay, so we'll be putting the stringified page value to the current page, starting from 1 and up to the 5. Of course, you can change this value accordingly if you want to scrape all the data out of there. Okay, but this is not yet enough, because also if it have this price can't really be extracted even, so I've just already tested, but let me just quickly show you this as well. So if I just simply say python 3 and zillowrand.py and click run. Okay, sorry, just has some internet connection issues. So here is what I've been talking about. So it can't really parse the price itself. So if I just quickly command this price out and try to run the scraper one more time, you'll see that the results that have been scraped from there wouldn't be that correct. Okay, so here we got our results, but if we have a look at the CSV file itself, sorry, this is the old one, but it's still wrong. Okay, so let me just quickly show you that. I have no idea why my internet sucks so hard this day. Not sure. Well, probably because it's mobile. Okay. So here is the deal. You see that instead of bedrooms, we have some strange prices. Instead of bathrooms, we have even more strange prices, and so on. The only thing seems to be extracted correctly is the images and the addresses. So we need to change oh, well, basically, maybe because we just got rid of that, maybe they just shifted slightly a bit. Well, nevertheless, let's try first to store the response to the disk, and then try to debug our data extraction logic, and then we'll get back to the crawling data again. So if here we'll say just save response. How is this called basically? Save response. Okay, save response, and we can simply break after. So let's try this one more time. Basically, I just want to store the response as the HTML file. Okay, so it couldn't write the CSV file, but this doesn't really matter that much. So I want to have a look if the response is available, and it seems it does. It is available. So now we need to load our response. Okay, so hold on. So we can basically bring all this things back, and here we can simply say self dot load response. So what kind of data does it return to us? It returns HTML. Okay, so we can say that HTML equals self load response, and then simply say self.parse and HTML, and we simply want to break here. No need to write the CSV or things like that. And here, do we have JSON imported? We don't. Okay, let's import JSON to print our extracted data here. Here I can simply say okay, instead of appending all this stuff, I will bring this back to the state of the items variable and simply print JSON.dumps and items and indentation equals to 2 spaces. Okay, and save and run. I hope to see the extracted data now. Okay, break outside of loop. Oh, not break, of course, we need to return here. Sorry for this inconvenience. So let's try this one more time. Okay, so now we have the dress, the bedrooms, the bathrooms, square feet. Well, still okay, so the JSON data seems to be just pretty fine, but let's actually make sure that it's exactly the same as it is on the site. So the George and Leonard 275 Memorial, blah blah blah. Let's see. I have no idea where exactly this kind of comes from. Oh, this is the page number 2. We need the page number 1 respectively. Okay, so here's the deal. Basically, it has really many prices, and the data is really different compared to the sales results, because here they offering to actually the price for renting the 1 bedroom, for 2 bedrooms, and so on. Somewhere it even goes for 3 bedrooms. Apparently, yeah, it seems like over here it's gonna 3 bedrooms. So we need to extract all of this data here, and also let me just quickly check this out as well. So it actually does really seem to scrape the data correctly, but the selectors that was used within this within the sales URLs here scrape completely different data. And as far as this data is being scraped correctly, okay. Oh, even this one is also being scraped correctly. So so basically okay, I'm not really sure if I just can change this keys to 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, and 3 bedrooms, something like that. Or okay, let's have a look at this townhouse Atlanta, and what is there? Or no, maybe this one, 5015 Cascade Hills. Okay, 5015 Cascade Hills. Okay, this is it. So 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. Well, you know, like the data is really that unstructured. So let's try to think how exactly we're supposed to scrape it. Okay, so this price, is this available actually? 300. Well, it seems like. So, you know, like when you're doing web scraping, it's very important to understand the data structure itself, and the most challenging part is actually to scrape the data that is not structured. So somewhere they just put in the square fits, so 200s693. So is this the case? 200s cascade. Where is this cascade? Okay, I just lost that. Sutton townhouse. Oh, here is the cascade. So yeah, square fits. So at some point the square fits, but you know, like what is really strange, that here the square fits are actually the square fits, while here the square fits is the price for 3 bedrooms, and this is really tough. Okay, so how do we supposed to make use of this? Okay, if I just have a look at the developer tools, trying to inspect the elements, I'm just wondering, okay, list card price. Oh my god. So this probably are all of the cards here. Okay. So this is, I don't understand what's going on with my computer, to be honest. Okay, so list card details, list card hidden. Okay, yeah, my internet sucks so fucking hard today. Okay. Well, I don't know, probably it would be better just to grab this entire data. Well, if we were storing this data to some sort of a JSON file, it would be just fine to have the dynamic features, but in case of CSV, it's not really that good at it. So let me just try to think a little bit of how to make this. Okay, so here is exactly what I've been talking about. So within the list card details, we have within this user list, we have a different number of list items, and every list item has some sort of a value followed by above. Oh my god, I've never seen that tag before. Okay, so what do we have in our source code? Basically, a list card price, address, user list. Okay, so okay, you know, like probably it's better just to, so cards, so we're looking for every card. Okay, so let's just try to get rid of this stuff at all. So here we say like extract items. Okay, and so the only correct thing we have is the address, yeah, and the image URLs. So all the other stuff will go slightly different way here. So I don't know, let's call this prices, maybe just like this. Okay, and we're looking for a user list, list card details. Okay, so say just card dot find and list card details. Is this a div? No, it's a user list. I'm sorry. So we're looking for the user list and the class. Yeah, I was making too many Scrapy tutorials recently. That's why I completely forgot how the things are done within a BeautifulSoup. Okay, so find, but probably not find one. We need to find all instead, right? And we don't really want to extract the text out of them for a while. So I think that this would return a list, but let's basically try to check that out as well. So just what? Oh, forgot to put a comma at the end. Okay, one more time. Non-type object is not callable. This is strange. Okay, just misspell the find all function. Also the image. I've deleted the link for the image there. So let's try. Oh my God, the tag is not JSON serializable. Of course it's not. But okay, let's just try to print. Oh, it doesn't help probably. Or does it? Okay, we just can stringify this for now, right? Let's try to stringify this at the moment. I just want to see the bare HTML there. Okay, so the prices, user list, details, list item. So we can try to find all the list items within this. So do we need still to stringify? Okay, let's keep that for a while. So if we just find the only user list, and then try to find the list item. Well, basically no need to specify the classes because there are the only list items there. Maybe find all here. Okay. Okay, now this is much better. So, and we have this 2 bedrooms, so we can try to extract basically all the text out of this. Okay, let's try to extract the text first. Yeah, unlimited sky, I understand you, man. It's really not that trivial to alter this kind of code. Okay, results set doesn't have text. Okay, yeah, of course it doesn't, so we need to use. Okay, let's get rid of this stringify here. So let's make use of the list comprehension here. So here within the prices, okay, we want to return the list of let's call this price dot text basically, right? For price in this kind of list. Okay. Okay, so now it seems like slightly better, right? So what kind of things we have here? So prices like for the studio, for the 1 bedroom, for the 2 bedrooms. Well, it seems pretty reasonable, but probably it's better to call this prices and details. Well, maybe just let's call this details because the data is really highly unstructured there. So the details, so it seems to be like a pretty self-explanatory, right? Okay, well, at least I think it's more or less seems just to be fine there. Okay, and the very last thing to consider is actually to bring the images back. So if I just have a look, the image here, image source, is this within the card? I believe this is within the card. So if I just is there the only image there within? So let me just try to find the image like card dot find and the image itself. Okay, so for some reason I didn't do this in the previous version, so let me have a look. Okay, so this is what we use here because probably images are not available for all, not available everywhere. So here we say like try to extract image. Okay, and here we simply say image, and that's kind of it. Okay, now let's try to have a look if the image is reasonable or not. Well, okay, so it's definitely not the correct URL at some point, so we actually need to make use of this one. Well, I'm not sure if this is actually available in the page source itself, so let's have a look at the source code. So we need to okay, article list card. Oh my god, it's so fucking slow. Okay, so let's look for the image tags. Okay, so okay, not exactly what I want here. Our article class. Okay, and within this one, so what do we have here? Data. Okay, so here is the image, but so it is available here. So, well, let's try to use some sort of a different extraction logic here. So let's try to make use of div class top, div class list card top. So copy this, and where is the image? And say card dot find, and this would be the div class list card top, and try to find the image source within that div class top. Okay, so well, I have to see the normal images. Oh my god, I have no idea why this happens. It doesn't give the real URL, he does some shit in return. Okay, let's see our response here. So if we just try to find the images, image tags here. Strange, even here it still seems to be just kind of pretty fine. Oh, it was within the script. Okay. Okay guys, probably I just make absolutely the same mistake while recording the original Zillow web scraping tutorial. So even though the last images seems like a gibberish, the very few at the very beginning there actually seem to have a reasonable image. Here it is. So some of them really have the reasonable photos here. Well, I'm not sure, but let me just quickly try to check this one. So if I just copy, and yeah, for some reason they really kind of, yeah, maybe no images are not available or something like that. So yeah, the images are basically over here. So I will just leave the images as is there, and I'm just wondering if I'm already ready, if we are already kind of ready to write, to crawl all the stuff here. So probably instead of storing this to CSV, well, I think even storing to CSV should be just fine, because this kind of list within the details would probably be treated as, yeah, it should work, but also would probably add one more like store to JSON method there to make sure. Okay, so let's actually try. So just delete this zillow.csv. Okay, just want to try to run the scraper again, and cell.parse. Okay. The only thing I just want to break after crawling the first page, so break here to see if that won't work, because yeah, I also need to say self dot, is this called results? Basically results, yeah, self dot results dot append items, yeah. So here I say append items, scraped items to results list. Yeah, it didn't work with regarding the CSV because there wasn't any data within the results variable. Okay, now it should be some over there, so just close LibreOffice and open this file one more time. I hope to see the data more or less just fine. Okay, so now it considers, it really uses this list, okay, which is pretty nice basically, but I think that even better idea would be to actually store this into the JSON format, because when you have the unstructured data, JSON structured like features seems to be far more reasonable way of representing the data. So let me just add one more method here, so I can simply say def to JSON and the self instance as an argument, and here we simply say with open literally the same like zillow.json. We can even say zillow rent JSON as want to write the file stream as file, and simply say f.write, and what do we actually want to write? Self results, right? So we want to write json.dumps self.results and use the indentation equals to 2 spaces to print the results. And also let's say here self.toJSON and try to run this one more time basically, and if it works fine, I will remove this break statement and crawl all this stuff. Okay, so zillow rent JSON. Okay, now it seems more reasonable really. So now here we have the price and the corresponding number of bedrooms if available. Yeah, this is pretty nice. And also if we have some sort of a different data, like not the price sense but something else, I'm not sure, there was something, yeah, if we say have some square feet, a number of bedrooms or whatever, so it also shows correctly. But I'm just wondering why say here it doesn't really okay, probably storing the URL would be nice as well. So let me just quickly check this out. So copy, I'm looking for this particular property to see if there are any pricings or not. Paste. Okay. Okay, so it seems like so these pricings are not really available in all the places, or I'm not sure really. No, they are. It's kind of over here, right? So they has to be within the list. But okay, let's try to find this one more time. Is this price a bit different selector? Oh, not view the page source, please. Just want to inspect this element. So is this price really different? Okay, okay. So it's not available everywhere, right? So say here it's not the price, it won't be the list card price, it would be probably already the user list card details, right? So we also can try to make use of scraping this this sort of prices. So list card price. Okay, div list card price. Okay, and also try to make use of the URL, so to make it easier to find a particular property. So okay, it's not the Zillow scraper, Zillow rent. Okay, and here we'll say try to extract price. Well, if it's not within the user list, if not extracted yet, so, and here we'll say items kind of price like this, and would be equal to card dot find, and we want the div and list card price, the class of list card price, and extract the text out of there. So now let's try this one more time. Basically, I hope, oh, it's not available everywhere, so we need to basically try this and accept as simply just pass here, and we probably don't really want this to CSV because it would be given the errors because of a different number of columns mismatching and all this stuff, so we just get rid of the CSV here at all. And now this should work. So if the price is available, yeah, it would be appended the price. Yeah, great. So reload. Okay, details. So, and here we have, so if the price is not within the details, then we get the price being scraped outside of person that list with the details. So this is the challenge regarding the web scraping when you have a highly unstructured data, and how to make use of this basically. And okay, probably one last thing I would like to add here is actually to define the URL of the particular property we're looking for. But can we basically do that? So we need to extract the we need to extract, what do we need to extract, by the way? List card info, list card link, a list card link. So let's call this URL, and here we say card dot find and a tag and the class of list card link, and we want to extract the h reference out of this. Okay, so hold my breath and try and run this one more time. Okay, seems like URL is being extracted correctly as well. So just to make sure this is home actually. So just try to paste this one here. Okay, yeah, seems like a home. Okay, but let me just try to make sure. Let's try this one instead. Copy. And so what was the very first? This one, right? Well, it seems to be it still. Yeah, this is it. Great. Okay, so we have the links for every particular home here. Okay, this is pretty nice at the moment. So I think that now we can already go scraping the entire page set being defined within the scraper itself. So just delete this CSV file, we don't need this anymore, and also delete the response HTML. as well, and trying to get rid of this break statement. So now we would be scraping pages, 4 pages basically. Okay, let's try to run this. I hope this would be for the one last time. No directory response HTML. Where do we reference that? I'm just wondering. Do we still reference that? So line 35, load response. Do we call the load response? Oh, of course. So here we need to, nope, not like this. Don't need to load response. Just fetch the stuff, and that's kinda it. Okay. Okay, so the first page has been scraped and goes further on and further on. Okay. Okay, it seems like it did scrape all the stuff. So let's have a look at zillow.json one last time. So now you see it's far more data here compared to the previous time, and now the details seems to be scraped quite pretty nicely. And also let's look for the price if available. So it's also kind of been scraping price as well, which is pretty nice. Okay guys, so I hope you've learned something interesting out of this tutorial. Unlimited Sky, I hope you've enjoyed this as well, especially as far as it can kind of make some use for you. And you're really right, it wasn't really that trivial to just alter the code and get the data you need. So you know, like even though I claim myself to be a code monkey king, but that's just about because like monkey see, monkey do. That regards how I learn things basically and how I teach things. It's kind of, you know, like really similar to how the forms are being transferred within the Chinese martial arts, when the master is doing the form and the student just repeats without even understanding exactly what is he doing. But later on, after practicing, he realizes what's the exact particular mean behind those forms. And exactly the same principle I'm using here in my web scraping tutorials. I'm just writing the codes, I hope you guys would be just typing this code from screen like I used to do when I'm learning from someone's tutorials there on YouTube or wherever, doesn't matter really. And then when you just practicing this for quite a bit of time, eventually you'll start getting some understanding of how exactly things work. So let's just go for a little bit of summary and overview regarding this particular tutorial. So what did we change from this Zillow scraper, which was scraping this homes for sale, and this one which scrapes the homes for rent. So basically the first thing we change is the parameters, the Queen search string query parameters that been changed slightly a bit here. And also we did change the URL itself, because we were looking now for the Atlanta GA properties for rent, not the New York. What was there? Not sure, don't remember really. Yeah, it was New York, right? And the very important stuff here, that instead of blindly scraping the price, which is not really available that often, instead we did scrape the entire list of details, which contains the price, the various prices for the various number of bedrooms to rent, to let, how they call this. And this is really flexible in terms of scraping unstructured data. So I really hope this kind of helps you. And in case when the client is asking you to scrape all of the data, especially if you're doing this for machine learning purposes, it's really important to kind of scrape all the data, and clients really like when you provide the data in this like set. And again, if you're doing this for the machine learning purposes, the JSON format is more kind of appropriate basically, because they can do whatever they want to this data and can analyze this however they want later on. So this is kind of it, guys. I hope yeah, so this is it. I hope you learned something interesting out of this tutorial, and I hope to see you in the next video, so until next time, and take care.